Hey guys, it's Vera Sweeney from Zombies Are Real. And last night I watched a movie called Malicious. It was brand new on Netflix. It was the first time that I saw the thumbnail and I gave it a go. Um, Initial thoughts about it felt familiar. I'm just going to say that it felt familiar. There were some parts in it that I definitely thought stood out, and that's what I want to talk about with you guys today to see if you felt the same exact way. But in case you haven't seen the movie yet, there's going to be some spoilers, so just be warned. I'll give you a quick synopsis about what happened, and then we can break down my favorite parts. So I'm looking at everybody's names here today. So Josh Stewart is Adam, and he gets this new gig. He's a math professor, and I guess with the job comes a house because they keep talking about how it's so hard to fill this position in the school. They kept bringing it up. Oh, I don't understand why I got such a great salary for this job, and I just can't understand why I got this position for the job, and you keep wondering, why are we talking about this one particular role? There were moments in the movie that I thought didn't really close up, and that was the very first moment that I felt was left opened, and it was in the very beginning, so it didn't really come out of the gate so seamlessly. Like, I sort of was going, wait a second, wait a minute, do all the math professors die? Is that what you're trying to say? Does the demon only attack the math professors? What are we trying to say with this line here? And by the time we got to the end of the movie, we didn't really get to that answer. So that sort of was very interesting to me, and I sort of put a pin in that, and we moved on. Adam and his wife, pregnant, move into a new house. His wife Lisa's sister Becky comes in, and unfortunately Becky is brought into the movie at a time of need. Lisa miscarries through a horrific moment in the movie. We finally get to the first horror moment where she sees a baby, and it's a dead baby. And when she lifts the baby, it immediately makes her miscarry. The doctor, looking for a physical reason as to why this woman miscarried, he said she lifted something so heavy, whatever it was above and beyond any measure of normal activity. The husband said, well, she runs, she was decorating the nursery, she's super active. Could any of these things have happened? And the doctor said, nope, that sounds normal to me. This was excessive. Whatever she lifted was excessive. So the storyline was sort of making us feel that when she lifted the baby, it had her feeling like it was an 8-pounder. But in actuality, she was probably lifting a boulder or something along those lines, but she wasn't aware of the weight difference. And through that, she not only lost the baby, but she lost the ability to have all children. So now she is barren, she is depressed, she is crying in the hospital looking for some type of comfort. And that's when we're introduced to Becky. Is Lisa's sister. She swings in, bad attitude right away to Josh. Open hole number 2. We don't understand why they have a bad relationship. Josh says something right away. Adam is the character's name. Adam says something right away like, I don't want to deal with your shit today, Becky. He gives her some one-liner jab, and as an audience member, you're sort of sitting there going, well, what happened here? Like, what don't you want to give? What has been given? What has been happened in the past that we're not addressing here? Can we have a flashback? I mean, can I have a 2-minute flashback to understand what the problem was before we push forward anymore? Because I'm really not clear why you guys are giving each other attitude. So it was sort of like hole number 2, unless I missed it. Did I miss it, guys? I don't think I missed it. So, and then even the other part, which I thought was weird, is I'm married. I mean, I have children. And the woman who had just miscarried, she just found out she's not having any more children. Her and her husband cannot physically have any more children on their own. They could, of course, adopt and do other things. but she just found out in that very second she lost her child. And her sister comes running into the hospital and is like, girl time, later, husband. And I was sitting there going, that's not real. Like, nobody in their right mind would push out a mourning husband, a mourning father in a hospital. I mean, where's dad's rights? Can we talk about that? I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I don't have a sister, so maybe that's what it's all about. But to me, I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't the wife want to also comfort the husband? They are both mourning together. How odd of a scene is it that the sister sort of jumped in and just pushed Adam right out of the room and said, nope, us girls need to be together. And by the way, I'm staying in the house with you guys for a while. I'm here to take care of my sister. I'm not going anywhere. Deal with it. Rude. So, by the way that we got into the hospital, there was a little bit foreshadowing about the demon, the ghost, the poltergeist, whatever it is, that we were going to meet in the future. Lisa, while jogging, while pregnant in the forest or whatever, the woods, comes across a woman who is dirty and bleeding and confused. And it turned out to be the lost spirit that is sort of assigned to this area. She was the one that was killed in the house, and I guess is still struggling, and that's why she's still on Earth. And she gives this foreshadowing and says, that baby is not yours anymore. Do not love that baby. That baby is not yours anymore. They're going to take that baby. And Lisa gets so scared and she starts running away. And she's like, what does that mean? That girl's crazy, thinking she's real, that she's a real person. So that was I liked that moment. I did like that moment because you didn't know how it was going to all tie together, but you knew that was a substantial moment and you wanted to remember it. So I was like, okay, cool. So now the woman is going to play a part, but she's also a victim in this. The ghost is also a victim in this because she's scared and she's sad and she's crying. And she also is mourning some sort of loss, probably her own loss of life. They're all in the house, all three of them. And now things start to get a little weird. So I still can't figure out whether or not Adam and the sister Becky had an affair. And that's what the undertone felt like. It felt like they were hiding some sort of secret together that they knew about. And, there was a moment where Adam was looking out the window and the ghost was playing tricks with him. He thought he was seeing Becky sleeping with a man, leaning up against the car. And instead of turning away and being like, oh, she's so gross and she doesn't even know the guy, or let me give them some privacy, this is their adults, this is their thing, or gosh, I can't stand her, I just want her to leave, can't she just live her life somewhere else? He stops and watches. And he has eye contact. They are having eye contact with each other. She's sleeping with the guy. She's looking up at the window. She's looking at Adam. Adam's looking down at her. And there's this awkward moment, right? You're going, wait a minute. What are you doing with that sister? You're married to the other girl who's suffering in the other room. Go be with your wife. But it turns out that none of it was actually real. It was all this ghost visualization that they're doing to trick Adam to play with his mind. He turns around and suddenly the ghost is in the room that looks like Becky. And she said, you thought I was downstairs doing all of that? Well, you're wrong. And that was his first moment that he realized that something was wrong with the house. Now, I watch these movies all the time and I'm always like, that would be the moment that I would leave right there. I don't need 3 or 4. I need 1. And to me, to see the woman downstairs and then the woman's upstairs, I got it. Point made, checkmate, and let's pack our bags, honey, and bye-bye. I don't need, and then everyone's like, oh, all my money is tied up in this house. And I'm like, I will live anywhere. I will live in McDonald's if I need to. I'm not living with a ghost. So, that was the moment that sort of you saw what was happening. So, okay, so when Becky comes to the house, weird thing, she goes to some thrift store. This is why you don't buy things at antique sales. P.S. This is why I walk into antique sales and I don't even want to, I'm walking through like this. I don't even want to touch anything because you don't know what's attached to items, right? So she comes and says to her sister, and she's like, oh, like, here's a little box as a gift. Oh, you got my gift. She sees her gift, and it's like a box I can't open. Why would you even get that gift? Like, you're shopping. Let's just pretend we're shopping for something. And we're looking through the thrift store, and you're like, here's a weird looking box. Oh, it doesn't open. So weird. It's non-functional. Perfect gift for my sister. What? What? Who would buy that? That makes no sense. But she bought it, and she gave it to her sister and the husband. They had it in the house. The husband was trying to open it. Nobody can open it. The wife, for some reason, is able to open it. Hole number 3. We cannot figure out why the wife was able to open the box. Why did she have the ability to open the box? Was it because she was pregnant? Was it because the dead ghost that was inside of the box somehow was able to link to her in some way? Like, why was one person able to open up the box and everybody else was not able? Why was the sister Becky, who bought the box, and the husband Adam, who tried to open the box, unable to do it? But then Lisa, who was pregnant, she was able to do it. So, like, this doesn't make sense to me, right? There's just things that don't make sense. And you expect by the end of the hour 30 an answer to be had. And I just didn't have some of them. And to be honest with you, it was really late. And so maybe I missed some of these things. So if you did watch it and catch something that I missed, please tell me, because I did like it. Like, I watched the whole entire show. And there were a couple of moments that I was like, ooh, creepy, like gross. Okay, got me. Like, enjoyed that moment. It did capture me. It did keep my attention, but it was late. So there were times that I was sort of like dozing left and right and, not really getting into the full shebang until the tail end. So creepy part number, whatever we're up to, I've lost count at this point. Baby's dead. Hauntings are happening. Weird stuff is going on. Great scene. This is the best scene out of the whole movie that I'm about to tell you right now. Becky is in the bathroom trying to get ready. And she's like, looking at herself in the mirror, and she's doing her hair. I don't even know what she's doing. Working out. I don't even remember. But while she's moving in front of the mirror stops moving. And she flips, right? She's like, what am I looking at? This is so crazy. Like, why isn't my shadow, why isn't my mirror image mirroring me? And as you would, she flipped in a appropriate way. She didn't like shriek, holler, like for horror movie times 10 standards, but she flipped out in a way that probably you and I would respond. And then she got closer to see what was happening. And then the mirrored image of herself grabbed her and then slammed her into the mirror and caused her to have quite a gash in her forehead. Door is locked. We don't know what's going on in the bathroom. We have no idea what's happening to Becky. Lisa, the sister, is waiting for a really long time. She's like, where is my sister? What is going on? She takes forever. Let me go check on her. So she goes and knocks on the door. She's like, Becky, is everything okay? And you hear Becky, and she's like, yeah, everything is fine. Now, from the other side, I thought Becky was possessed. I thought at that point she got slammed into the mirror. The ghost took over her body. And now this whole movie is going to be about possession. And so I'm going, okay, so she's not talking to Becky. She's talking to this other version of Becky. That's what I thought. And she's going, no, I'm fine. I had an accident. I'm just getting cleaned up. She said something along those lines. But then the camera pans into the bathroom, and it's Becky, absolutely terrified, looking at herself in the mirror, which is not herself. It's the demon or the ghost or whatever it is. And the demon is giving her some like wild-eyed, smiled, like version, like looking at her, but in a creepy, smiley kind of way. Like, I know you, I see you, I got you, don't move. And Becky is frightfully just standing there, not knowing what to do, because she's already been touched. She's already been harmed. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to move. She doesn't know how to escape. And I thought that was great because we saw the moment before she was taken. And I was like, oh, I love that. Like, we don't normally see that. We normally see a violent moment and then they're gone. We don't see the fear, or maybe sometimes we do. I'm not saying this is a brand new scene. It's not. But that, I thought that was such a great moment that they gave us, because it gave us, 15 to 20 seconds of pure fear. And it was so simple enough in a way that if this was happening to us in real life, that's exactly how it would look like. It wasn't cinematic. It wasn't over the top, ridiculous. She's flailing and she's scraping at the walls and she's climbing the ceiling. She was standing there shaking, unable to move, not knowing how to escape it. And that's it. That's real. And so I really love that scene. I love that moment. I thought that was a great moment. Another interesting scene that I thought was disgusting was when Josh, aka Adam, was in the bathroom and he was showering, and the sister, presumably, comes into the shower and naked, and she starts groping him and she starts trying to make out with him. Now, of course, I hope that all husbands would say, please remove yourself from the shower. I'm married. You're her sister. Like, get away. Is this a trick? Are you just trying to scam me into cheating on your sister? Is this like some ploy to see if I'm loyal or not? But he caves. He goes right in. So that's, thought number two, that he's just not a good guy. Like, he's just not a good guy. So he goes right in. So he's making out with the sister in the bathroom. He doesn't know that she's possessed. He's all in on it. And maybe in the beginning he wasn't. Maybe in the beginning he had a little step back. He didn't jump. He didn't pounce because he wasn't sure. He was like, is this real? What is she doing? Why is she in here? Why is this happening? We hate each other. But then after a few minutes of them kissing, when he opens his eyes, he sees a hag, like an old hag, horribly looking, scary version of this woman, but somebody else. And he runs away. He's disgusted. He runs out of the bathroom. He now knows that something is seriously wrong. He woke up kissing a 100-year-old woman with, bad teeth. And after speaking to some people, somebody told him, that was your dead daughter. So the ghost that is now haunting the house that you're experiencing is actually the ghost of your daughter. So how did it feel to make out with your daughter? Disgusting. I was like this in the bed. I was like, what? That's disgusting. So to me, that went way left. And I wasn't ready for that. And I thought that was disgusting. And I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, okay, so let's just pretend that happened to you. It would be 1,000 times worse if you knew that that was to be true. That's disgusting. So I thought that was an interesting twist that they put into it. The last spin that I want to talk about, and they did some foreshadowing of this, because if you remember in the very beginning, I told you about the woman that said, that's not your baby. Don't love that baby. The ghost that she met while running, the pregnant woman, Lisa, while running in the field, in the forest, she ran into that ghost, and the ghost said, they're going to come after you. Don't love that baby. That baby is not yours. So once we got to the tail end of this movie, the mom that lost the baby did not want to exorcise this ghost, did not want to get rid of these evil spirits, did not want to cleanse the house in any way, shape, or form. So all the efforts that the husband was trying to do, bringing in some extra help, trying to do seances, trying to figure out ways to get the ghost back into the box, she started being like, I don't think so. I have to protect this baby. I'm the mother. And when that happened, it also made me feel sorry for her, because I thought, imagine having a baby losing the baby, knowing you can never have another baby, and then having that baby haunt the house that you're living in, even though some negative things are happening, would you want to remove that spirit, knowing that that truly is your child? And I think that that is what they were trying to do with her frame of mind. It's irrational. It's illogical. It is ridiculous, right? But so is this whole movie. But from a writer's perspective, I said, okay, I could see that happening from a mom who's at her lowest point, desperate. I didn't think that she was even touched by evil. And I didn't think that she was possessed or harmed, or I didn't think that there was anything that was touching her that to make her think these things. I thought while watching that movie that she felt those things corely as a mother. And that I felt sad for her. Like I kind of was like, that's really sad that they wrote that in, because as a mother, I can empathize about that, about wanting to protect your children above all costs. But through, and she harms her husband. She harms her husband in an attempt to protect her dead daughter. But through the fighting and the chaos, she recognizes at the point that this cannot go on. And they're actually attached to me. They're not attached to the house. The ghosts are now all attached to me. And the only way to save everyone is if I die. This is what the wife is thinking, Lisa. So she was already in a pretty bad state. She was harmed. And she asked her husband to just finish her. So she was already bleeding on the floor. She was injured. She had I believe she had an arrow through her, and she knew she was dying. And so she said, you know, this is not, none of this is going to end until I end. So please, for my daughter's sake, for my sake, for your sake, end me, and I will end all of this. And hole number 5, I think I'm up to 5. I don't understand how by ending her, the spirit went back into the box. Is it because she's the one that opened the box? So by her dying, then the spirit was able to go back into the box? Is that what we're trying to say here? Okay, so let's run with that. She died, and then because she died, he was able to close the box and get the spirits back in the box. Let's just pretend that that's what happened. We're going to go with that. Of course, because Adam murdered his wife in real life, the cops come. They charge him. They're not going to believe that there was any sort of possession. All they see is a man with a knife and blood all over him and his wife on the floor. So, of course, Adam gets sent away to prison. And the professor, who has been helping them all along because he had some paranormal abilities, like he was able at one point to come visit them and be able to see the spirits. He was the one that confirmed, yes, there are spirits in your house. So he kept in contact with this man, the guy who helped him sort of make sense of what was happening to his life. But he came to visit him in prison, and the teacher said, you know, what happened to that box? Where is the spirit? Like, what happened to, you know, I'm sorry about your wife. I'm sorry that you're here, but we have to talk about what's really going on here. Where's that box? And Adam, in jail, who knows his life is over, quite frankly, said, don't worry, I took care of it. I put it back where it belongs, or we put it back where it came from, is I think the quote in the movie. I sent it back where it came from. I was something along the lines of what he said. And as he said that, I was thinking to myself, I said, the thrift store? Like, what does that mean? I didn't really understand what that meant. I was like, why would he send that back to the thrift store? And the very next scene, you see Becky, the sister, who also was cured of her possession, because as the box closed, it took all the spirits that came out, which again, I found weird, because if the ghosts were really connected to Lisa, then why was one ghost able to latch onto Becky? And then if it's really a per person haunting, then wouldn't Becky's ghost be connected to her? And so then why would Lisa's death have anything to do with Becky's possession? Another hole that I want to talk about. But so Becky's in the clear. Becky has a big box in her room, and she unwraps this box and she opens it up, and lo and behold, what's in the box but the gift that started it all, her thrift shop find, the haunted box, which to me is, I guess I understand where he's coming from, because she technically started it. She made this foolish move and bought this antique thing that killed her sister and ruined this man's life, but it wasn't intentional. I mean, I don't know why he would do that. I think because he lost everything and he wants to punish somebody. But I don't know. I thought that was a really interesting way to end the movie. Is she going to open the box? And did she not realize at all through her possession that the box was related to what was going on to her? Does she forget everything as soon as the ghost is removed from her body? Did she not hear anybody mention anything about the box before she was possessed? These are the questions that I have to ask. Like, what's the point in giving her the box? He's trying to kill her. But doesn't he worry about risking the fact that they might come back and bother him if the box ever gets opened again? What if he's the one that everything is sort of somehow linked to? Lots of questions. I had a lot of questions. I feel like that movie needed like another 2 weeks in development to seal it all up. But again, for what it was, there were moments that were great. Like I said, that I thought that bathroom scene where she was really scared, I just loved it. I loved that scene so much. I thought that was excellent. And then the whole thing about the daughter, totally gross. But overall, there just were moments where I sort of was like, wait, what? What happened to that moment? What happened to this? A lot of untied strings for me. And I just want to know if you guys saw it and if you felt the same way. Or if I've missed anything. Like I said, I watched it fairly late last night, and it is possible that I happened to skip out on things. And I guess the one thing that I want to say is I like stories where the haunting is related to people and not homes. Like Conjuring is probably one of my favorite horror films ever. And I don't know if you agree with me or not, but that whole series, like 1, 2, even The Nun. I mean, I wasn't so scared with The Nun, but the whole concept of it's not about where you are, it's about who you are. You have been latched onto, and so it doesn't matter where you go. There's no place safe. It's you. That's really scary. That's a really scary concept. And so this sort of had a little sprinkle of The Conjuring in that they couldn't go anywhere. There was no place to go. It was them. And that I appreciated that as a viewer. So let me know what you think. Malicious. It's on Netflix right now. Literally yesterday was the first time that I saw the thumbnail. So it's pretty new for me on Netflix. I don't know how long it's been out for you guys, but leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. And I'll try to get something up tomorrow. Until next time.